Welcome to Mock Interview Pro. If you're gearing up for a role as a stripper and want to nail that interview, you're in the right place. Today, we'll explore key questions you might face and how best to tackle them. Let's dive right in and start with a common concern for many performers: overcoming stage fright. Can you think of a moment when you had to deal with performance anxiety while on stage? This question helps the interviewer understand your ability to handle nerves and perform well under pressure. Let's talk about some strategies to effectively answer this question. Acknowledge that feeling anxious before a performance is perfectly normal. Share a specific instance where you encountered this challenge. Describe the techniques you used to manage your anxiety. Highlight the outcome or lesson from this experience. Conclude by explaining how this prepared you for future performances. Here's how you might structure your response.
During my first performance, I felt intense anxiety right before going on stage. To calm my nerves, I took deep breaths and visualized a successful show. As I stepped out, I focused on the audience's energy, which ultimately led to a great time. This taught me the value of preparation and mental visualization.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for stripper. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you give an example of how you've successfully engaged an audience during a performance? This question is designed to see how well you can connect with an audience and enhance their experience. Here are some tips to help you effectively respond to this question. Describe a particular performance where audience engagement was key. Highlight a technique you used to connect with your audience. Discuss the audience's reaction to your approach. Reflect on how this impacted your performance overall. Ensure your example relates to the skills needed for the role. Let's take a look at a sample answer.
During a themed night, I used humor and playful banter to engage the audience. They laughed and interacted, which boosted the overall energy of my performance. The positive vibe made me feel more confident and resulted in greater tips at the end.
Describe a time when you worked with other performers to enhance a show. This question is asked to gauge your teamwork skills and how you collaborate to improve a performance. Let's go over some points to consider when answering this question. Think of a specific performance where collaboration was key. Explain your role and contributions in the teamwork. Discuss how the collaboration improved the show. Mention any creative ideas or practices you introduced. Highlight any positive feedback received from the audience or peers. Here's an example of how you might answer.
For a charity event, our group decided to incorporate audience participation. I coordinated with my fellow dancers to invite guests on stage, which not only enhanced the show, but also created a fun and memorable experience for everyone.
How would you handle a situation where an audience member becomes disruptive during your performance? The purpose of this question is to assess your ability to manage disruptions and maintain control during a performance. Here are some strategies to keep in mind when dealing with this question. Stay calm and composed to maintain control of the performance. Use humor to diffuse tension and redirect the audience's attention. Politely set clear boundaries and communicate expectations. Engage other audience members to support you in managing the situation. Consider involving security if the disruption escalates. Let's consider a polished example response.
If an audience member gets disruptive, I would remain calm and use humor to lighten the mood, then gently encourage them to settle down while engaging other audience members to support the vibe.
If you receive negative feedback after a performance, how would you assess and improve? This question aims to understand how you handle criticism and your dedication to continuous improvement. Let's explore some effective ways to respond to this question. Listen carefully to the feedback without becoming defensive. Ask for specific examples to fully understand the critique. Reflect on the feedback to identify areas for improvement. Seek advice from peers or mentors on how to enhance your performance. Rehearse your routine and incorporate the suggested changes. Here's an example of how you might articulate your approach.
After receiving negative feedback, I would first clarify the points made, consider them thoughtfully, and discuss with fellow performers for insights before adjusting my performance.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.